which Onic would have to figure out. This is the whole series. Both teams have just been on the same side. No one is willing to budge, to switch sides. And this is Onic Philippines' eighth game of the night, and it is
Yeah,
not
and
even
they've
the
really
end yet.
changed.
We could go another
Yeah,
seventh for them.
yeah, they could end this entire tournament playing 15 games if it goes all the way to game 7 for the grand finals, if they do make it there. For EVOS, though, of course, they played their games yesterday, but it would also be a bit of a gauntlet for them as they're gonna be playing, if ever the grand finals gets maxed out, 12 games all in all. High Loss gets shown up, and now here comes an Obsidia as well. Not a lot of magic damage is just one of my little gripes about this lineup of Onic Philippines, but they don't really need it as they are going to be playing mainly through the Fanny and the Obsidia. I like how Onic PH has really changed the picture of the draft here by taking out the Uranus and the Grok and the Hilda in the first phase, then going for the Ruby and CC, really forcing out these different picks for EVOS. Now, though, it looks like they can still slot in a fighter, but kind of blanking on which one that they could put in there. But it's an Obsidia. They might just have to settle for a marksman and have double carries. Playing through a Valentina could be really rough here for EVOS. Let's see which idea they'll go towards for fighter gold or marksman.
Claude, yeah, I was thinking of a Claude too, because Ranger would Ranger would be so much harder, but Claude gives them the insurance. You- So I mean, the late game scaling for EVOS is actually pretty nasty, right? Claude and Yi Sun Shin,
Yes.
but it's about getting to that point. We already saw how Kelra was able to scale as the Claude, but that also was based off of certain crucial mistakes by EVOS in Game 4. In this game, I think that the theory is still the same. If the Obsidian lands a harpoon on you, even as a Claude, you just have to you will be forced to stand there and man fight Kelra. So EVOS still has to sort of survive the early to mid game first before they can even consider
Yeah.
outscaling on it.
Yeah, it seems like that's really what we're going to be looking at. The first 8 minutes going to be very important. Actually, to reduce it down even more, minutes are going to be crucial here for EVOS and their eventual success in the latter portions of the game. And the stats show it. Early to mid game potential in favor for Onic, late game potential in favor of EVOS. And because of that higher late game potential, the damage, survivability, crowd control leaning towards them. It's clear here for Onic. You're looking at a game where you take control very quickly. You play through that Fanny. You want to chain kills for King Kong. If not the kills, he's getting farm without that much of a problem. If King Kong falls down twice early in the game, that spells doom for Onic. Welcome to game number 5, the final one of the series before we head into the best of 7 grand finals later on. Played out for Verso Time and the eventual winner of this series.
EVOS trading crucial resources just to make sure they don't lose control of the lane. So that's revitalized out from Key already. Did help Suelo secure the wave, and he does have the brace knight. This rotation for Blue Coat to the bottom by the XP lane to help her get the XP trap too. I mean, Randy's gonna have a very important job in this game, not just tracking the Obsidia, but more importantly, tracking King Kong down, which would be a very hard task considering that Fanny is super mobile. But that's how it is. I mean, this Phobius is gonna be the make or break for EVOS.
Still a slow start here. A lot of aggression in the mid as expected. Oh, Super Friends so low.
The lift out key should go down. The passive keeps him alive just for a bit longer, but doesn't really matter. Super Prince with the first blood.
Revitalize coming in the clutch there for Super Friends. He, since he already used his Revitalize early on, didn't have it in the crucial moment of that big exchange in the center. Kirk and Randy, slow and steady as well. Really just going to be waiting for the first turtle to see who's going to take the first lead of this game. EVOS, I wonder if they're going to be willing to go for the full commit or a deeper commit into trying to take down this turtle for themselves. It's a good start, though, trying to find some early pokes onto Brusco to bring him down low. Doesn't have his Revitalize, so he might end up becoming the trade here for Onic.
Onic right on the scene. XP lane is at level 4. Super Friends Crimson Beacon is available. I don't think EVOS is going to even have a chance to get this turtle, but let's see if they can at least get a kill on the Kirk. Not a problem there. Randy secures it, but King Kong will get the turtle. Suelo steals the glorious pathway. They go in. A two-man pull again. Randy flickers forward, gets the commitment, but Brusco He's gonna go down. Albert with the secure. Super Prince comes in with the Crimson Beacon. Only gets a lift up on the one, but doesn't have the damage supplement. So King Kong will be called in. A good taunt key with the lockdown. And Kirk to chase Albert with the Bravest Fighter. Flickers back over the wall on the keys. Suelo will escape and has no mana to work with. And Rendy should eventually go down. This is Flying Cloud. So Onic PH back in the fight with a snap of a finger.
Absolutely clutch taunt there by Key. I was wondering why it seems like King Kong isn't as using the cables as much. He was taunted and locked down by EVOS immediately. So King Kong has to temper his entries just a little bit because he cannot get caught out like that. Though the scenario cannot blame him. Looked perfect for him. EVOS were all in such a tight corridor that he could just maximize what he could get through the cables. But EVOS were just able to get it. Key saving that for the White Tigers. And not only that, of course, they were able to time things perfectly right after Onic wanted to get out. They used the glorious pathway of the high loss stolen away by Suelo to go for the chase.
Prince gonna try and run away with the Flicker Crimson Beacon. AOG even committed and Super Prince escaped. Can't say the same with Brusco though. Albert cuts him in half. That free kill given over to EVOS. The Hunter Phone actually misses from Kelra too, so not able to lock down anyone on the White Tigers. And all things considered, I think, for EVOS, things are not doing too bad, right? I mean, with this draft, if you go even against Onic, that's good enough.
Yeah. Again, it slows down what the Fanny can eventually do, but here comes King Kong looking for Key.
Yeah, no way to kill Key. The passive and the revitalize more than enough. And honestly, Onic PH, they won the fight in the jungle solely because it's Flying Cloud, right? If it's not Flying Cloud, I think EVOS would have walked away like the clear winner. But it does allow EVOS to go for the reset, and Key can rejoin the fight when he wants. AOG still not up yet though, as Albert gets the extra cooldown with the boost. Suelo gets locked down, immobilized. AOG comes in, Suelo able to get away with the dash and the flicker committed too, and now Rendy will hold the front. 3-man pullback. Rendy on this Phobius is a menace. Continues to hold as he flickers away to safety himself. Super Prince with the lift back. Kelra on the case. Rendy again pulls him back into the Inferno Pursuit. He is still going. Rendy refuses to go down, and now it's Brusco starting to tank. Rendy back in with it, and finally taken out by Brusco in this long extended fight.
Suelo getting away from that initially, becoming an Obsidia cosplay, utilizing the dash was a dash of brilliance from him, but Onic Philippines showing that they want to make it to the grand finals. Much tighter team fighting formation and much better control of the team fighting. A little bit of scrambly for EVOS, but now this time they actually are still in contention for this turtle. Heavy fight.
Rendy back in it. Flying Clouds is available, and Key does have the AOG. They will abandon the turtle, give it over to EVOS as Kelra cashes in on the free wave up top. Might even have a chance to take the turret if not for Rendy showing up at the 11th hour. Again, the AOG was used by Key. Not really sure what the intention was. King Kong in the orange buff, and now Albert has to answer that. This could be an assassination angle. Here comes King Kong. Full commits on the Albert, and Albert survives.
So close. Just a little bit of extra spell as well of regain or life gain through him, keeping him alive. Almost getting completely taken out there single-handedly by King Kong, but EVOS were also ready for that. Once Albert was brought down low, there were members of EVOS ready to back him up and ensure that he wouldn't be able to complete the kill onto Albert. It would have been devastating for the tempo, as already Onic Philippines breaks the first tower in the game up top. They're still looking for that definitive, decisive win. So far, though, it's looking good for them as Rendy takes a good damage, good chunk of damage from the Hanabone.
And the intention from EVOS is very clear. They want to kill off someone from Onic. Brusco places down his own carpet to retreat. So they trade ultimates. No Suelo. He's going to get the IMU back up. Not a problem. There's a couple of spells that he can steal if he wants. Bravest Fighter is a very good option. But Suelo will hold on to that for now.
Trying to maximize the mobility of the Fanny, playing the map now. That's 2 side towers down. And it's control for Onic at this point, as EVOS will now have to play together or split off into 3-2. Just make sure you have someone shadowing Erlan as he's clearing out the side lane minion waves and getting farm. He does have a slight deficit compared to Kelra's 4,700, 4,300 for the Claude.
Again, for EVOS, they're not going to mind too much playing this long game. It's Onic that is on a bit more of a timer. Haas Claw for Kelra now up. Can win through the macro because of the mobility of this Fanny. So EVOS will have to find their avenue somewhere elsewhere.
See if they will find it. Good zone out there by Super Friends. Brusco and Kelra starting the process here. Kirk needs to show up and try to get some crowd control. Here comes King Kong.
AOG into Infernal Pursuit. Only knock out the Brusco, and that's not good enough as Randy now will eventually go down to Kelra. Blazing Duet committed by Erlan, but remember the Onic PH takes it in the face. He also goes down as well. King Kong picks up the second and the turtle. Crimson Beacon now gets used. Erlan cannot stay in the fight.
Good attempt to start things off here for EVOS, but with King Kong already up to a Malefic Roar, this might be it. Look at the damage of this Fanny. We just said it. He just built up the Malefic Roar, and the members of EVOS have been melted down by King Kong.
Beybladed Erlan to the grave. Randy rejoins with the Flying Cloud. Albert did get a pick up onto Kirk earlier on in a 1v1 in the jungle. Not all hope is lost, but it is starting to look up for Onic Philippines. A 4K gold lead, 8.5 minutes in.
And now things are looking dire for EVOS. Onic Philippines can just build around the little wins that they've gotten that have compounded into massive wins. 3 towers already taken down. No towers yet taken down by EVOS, and no damage at all even to any of the towers of Onic Philippines, as they can just continue playing this game of a 4-1 split, ascending King Kong opposite where Brusco, Super Friends, Kelra, and Kirk are. They are a 4-man unit playing around the Obsidia, while they have the Fanny who can take care of business alone in the opposite part of the map. Conceal play coming in for the orange buff.
Brusco lays on the carpet. They instantly turn on to Randy. They lock him down with the harpoon. Randy just cannot do anything. With Randy out of the picture, Onic Philippines will strike even harder. They find a second one. The bolt on the floor. Oh, Albert! His best effort is not enough, though. Assassinated in the very end by King Kong. And Erlan, he's all alone. Super Prince, they just lock him out from the base. King Kong, here he comes, and Bruce will help him out. Super Prince with the cleanup, and that's a team wipe.
That is it. With this massive lead, with the sheer amount of damage coming out of King Kong, the fact that the frontliners, once they get locked in by the Hunabone, that harpoon coming out from the Obsidia, there is no way out. It's almost always an assured kill. It could have been a really great response by EVOS as Albert got a massive stun with the turtle ship, followed up by the blazing duet of Erlan, but they just don't have the same amount of progress in terms of the items and in terms of the damage as Onic Philippines has. This Lord will mean victory for Onic Philippines if they get it, but if EVOS can somehow steal it, with still having some members on the board, this game might go on just a little bit longer, but all roads are pointing and looking towards Onic Philippines being able to advance to the grand finals up against a Verso time, but EVOS are not gonna go down without a fight.
Mountain Shocker, Turtle Boat, Brusco lays out the carpet. Suelo will lay out his one as well, but Brusco is so tanky. Randy chases Clara away. Albert not able to get the Lord. It's gonna be King Kong with the secure, and now they're trying to turn around the AOG to cut off the escape route. Randy is already gone. EVOS needs something in return, and they will trade Brusco for it.
1 for 1. EXP later down for EVOS. Brusco down for Onic Philippines, but they were a little bit too far from 11-10 for the Lord spawn, so they're going to have full members locked for both for this potential final siege. Unless Onic Philippines makes a mistake, EVOS will have to bow out after this game. Let's see. Massive leads across the board in terms of the items. 1,300 for King Kong. 1,400 plus and climbing for Kelra. How will EVOS manage this, considering they are a very dive-focused lineup? They're going to have to put themselves at risk just by defending.
Randy doesn't want to get hit by the Hunter Bone either, because that completely disables his kit as a Phobius. But someone might have to tank it. Kelra takes down the mid inhibitor. Lord, incredibly healthy. And Key doesn't want to stay there for too long as well. EVOS needs to really juggle this. And they do take care of the Lord, so both the side inhibitors should stay up. Let's see how much more damage Onic can do. The King Kong is going to casually steal the purple buff away first from EVOS' jungle. Kelra's damage is really starting to add up. Key might have to just full send this Crimson Beacon, stolen run. King Kong right in it. Key escapes with the AOG. Randy able to pull Kirk back. Blazing Duet is in. Randy back in it. Kirk is down. The top inhibitor does fall. And maybe the price that Onic pays is a couple of bodies. The Hunter Bow connects onto Key. Randy able to stop Kara in his tracks. EVOS, though, they have lost their whole base.
Randy is doing so much in this sequences. Oh, Kelro gonna get spotted out by Suelo, but Suelo's not gonna go for the overcommit. It's not over yet. EVOS is still fighting. Great defense. They did have to lose all of their base turrets for that one, though. So they have one more big major sequence to try and drag this out. The gold isn't that far. It's a 7,000 gold lead, but it's still within the threshold of EVOS actually able to make a comeback through sheer will alone and better team fighting if Onic Philippines are not careful. The presence of the Phobius delaying the entry of the Obsidia and even messing up Super Friends, forcing reactions out of Brusco and Kirk, or Brusco and King Kong, is actually stopping the other members of Onic from being able to answer what is the entry of King Kong or the entry of Kirk towards the backline of EVOS, which that already looked really good. They did have the benefit of being able to do that all under their base. But if Onic can't end it in the next one, this game is going to extend a little bit longer because EVOS is definitely going to be within range of just being able to win through one big major team fight win.
Yep. Onic PH, the innate advantage that they have is that all the turrets are down, and that's the fresh winsome nature from Erlan. He just got it, and King Kong has already forced it out. Makes it even harder for EVOS to handle the upcoming lore spawns, and Onic PH can do this dance for as long as they need.
Yeah. No more win chant. Instead of going up top to clear Key and Erlan decide to join this Lord fight. Lots of minions crashing in here in favor of Onic, and they don't want to allow that to happen. Onic now finds a member.
Randy gets locked down. He even committed the Inferno Pursuit, so he is straight up in danger zone. The backup comes in on time, but the execution of the Sky Piercer takes out Randy. And Super Prince flickers forward with the Crimson Beacon. Also catches Erlan on the BMI way out. Super Prince has just found a triple kill. And King Kong escorting the way up top. This is going to be lights out for EVOS as Onic Philippines extended all the way, only to give a maniac to Super Friends, and they are off to the grand finals for a rematch with Destiny against Verso Time.